The ridge looked closer than it was. Leora had been walking for hours, or what she guessed were hours, since the sky held neither sun nor moon to anchor time. Yet the ridge remained stubbornly distant, shimmering faintly beneath the low mist. It wasn't receding. It was shifting. Not away, just elsewhere. She paused on a stretch of thawing earth, hands braced on her knees. Her breath no longer fogged in front of her. The air had grown warmer, thick with the scent of damp soil and something new. Something green. "Are you doing this?" she asked the ground. A tremor rippled beneath her boots. Not a threat, a nudge. She straightened slowly, scanning the landscape. The field was no longer the cracked, frozen wasteland she'd crossed the day before. Thin coils of mist curled around patches of earth where shoots of grass pushed through. Small puddles shimmered like mirrors, reflecting a sky that was slowly remembering color. The world was waking, and it was rearranging itself. She took a step. The grass bent toward her. Another step. The mist parted in a deliberate arc, revealing a narrow trail she hadn't noticed before, a path that hadn't existed until she needed one. "Thank you," she whispered. The breeze lifted her hair in answer. She followed the new path. It wound through gentle slopes and dips, each turn feeling less random and more like guidance. After a while, she noticed something strange. Every time she hesitated, the landscape shifted slightly. A distant tree tilted, or a stone glowed faintly, or a patch of earth warmed beneath her foot, as if the world corrected her direction with subtle touches. But the ridge did something else entirely. It watched her. Every few minutes she glanced up, and its outline had changed. The slope curved differently. A jagged formation at its peak smoothed, then reappeared somewhere else, as though the ridge weren't a place but a decision she hadn't reached yet. Halfway up a small rise, she stopped. "Are you testing me?" she asked. The wind stilled. For a heartbeat, everything held its breath. Then a single stone at her feet rolled forward, deliberate, almost impatient, clicking against a larger rock as if pointing. Leora sighed. "Fine. Forward it is." She followed the stone's direction. The world seemed pleased. A rush of warm air wrapped her shoulders like a mantle. But as she drew closer to the ridge, the path sharpened. The ground underfoot grew uneven, split by narrow fissures whose faint glow matched the lattice light from the waking field. The warmth ebbed. The wind shifted from welcoming to cool, almost assessing. She stepped over a crack and the ridge flickered, not physically, visually, like an image adjusting focus. A wave of dizziness rolled through her. She dropped to one knee, gripping the soil. "Not a dream," she muttered. "You are not dreaming, miss." The ground steadied under her palm, holding her up until the world stopped spinning. When she rose, the ridge had solidified again, closer now, its silhouette sharper, more real than it had ever been. A sign. She was approaching something important, something the world wanted her to reach, but only if she was ready. Leora stepped forward, one steady breath at a time. Behind her, the thawing field brightened. Ahead, the ridge waited, no longer shifting but watching. And somewhere between the two, the waking world whispered, "Come and see." Time did not march. It drifted. A week, then another, slipping like smoke between her fingers. She moved through those days as if the world had been covered in a thin frost. Everything familiar, everything slightly altered. The man's confession lingered in the air around her, a quiet echo that followed her from room to room, from waking to sleep. And as the second week unfolded, she felt the edges of herself shifting, widening, as though the revelation had cracked open a scene she had not known was there, and something inside her was slowly, inevitably pouring through.